Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. He hacked our brains. I'm talking dopamine surges, amygdala alarms, and mirror neurons doing backflips. So buckle up. We're diving into the neuroscience of Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show performance and why 133 million people are still replaying it in their heads. Part 1, attention and surprise. First off, the brain loves surprise. Kendrick knows this. So the second Samuel L. Jackson, dressed as Uncle Sam, told him to tone it down, our amygdalas perked up. The amygdala is basically your brain's alarm bell. It scans for threat or novelty. So by setting up a rule, don't be too loud, don't be too ghetto, Kendrick, through Sam, primes us. Then boom, he breaks that rule with the song Humble. Be humble. Sit down. Surprise releases dopamine from the brain's ventral tegmental area, basically the brain's party starter. This makes the performance stick in your memory. Part 2, gaming the brain. Okay, let's talk stage design. Kendrick built a literal PlayStation controller underneath his feet. Why? Because your brain loves predictive coding. We see familiar shapes, X, square, triangle, circle, and the brain's visual cortex goes, hey, I know that. That recognition loop gives your brain a tiny dopamine reward. Combine it with a narrative, with each symbol being a different level of America's game, and suddenly our prefrontal cortex is juggling political commentary while our striatum is saying, hey, this feels fun. Let's keep playing. Part 3, emotional resonance and the amygdala. Then SZA floats in with Luther. Neuroscientifically, this was genius. After the tension of Uncle Sam and diss tracks, your amygdala is firing like a smoke detector. Kendrick then gives you relief with melody and harmony, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Basically telling your body, you can chill, you're okay, we're okay, everything's fine. The contrast, fear spike followed by calm, creates what neuroscientists call an emotional cocktail, making the performance unforgettable. Think of it as the emotional version of hot sauce followed by ice cream. Your brain loves the mix, and the combination makes it 10 times stickier in your brain and viscerally. Part 4, diss tracks and the reward circuit. Okay, the Drake diss. This is where things get primal. Diss tracks light up your mesolimbic reward pathway. That's your nucleus accumbens, ventral striatum, the whole dopamine squad. Why? Because our brains have evolved to enjoy social dominance displays. When Kendrick drops a lyrical uppercut, your brain responds like your team just scored a touchdown. When you add in the crowd roaring, this triggers mirror neurons in the premotor cortex. And suddenly you're mentally shadowboxing in your living room. Part 5, breath control and neuroplasticity. A fun fact, Kendrick prepared for months for this performance by running daily. Aerobic exercise doesn't just help stamina, it actually boosts hippocampal neurogenesis. That means more brain cells for memory and focus. On stage, Kendrick's phenomenal respiratory control kept oxygen flowing, stabilizing his prefrontal cortex so he could rap intricate verses without gasping. Basically, jogging is Kendrick's secret neural cheat code. Part 6, visual symbolism and cognitive dissonance. One of the most striking visuals, the fractured American flag. Neuroscience calls this cognitive dissonance. That's when your brain holds two conflicting ideas at once. The flag says unity, but the split says division. That dissonance triggers activity in the brain's anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's conflict monitor. And what happens when you feel conflict? You pay more attention. You remember it more vividly. Kendrick made politics feel visceral by literally splitting America on stage. Part 7, the turn his TV off, and then peak mic drop. Kendrick ends with turn his TV off, which many people heard as turn your TV off or turn the TV off. Whichever way you heard it, from a brain perspective, that's what's known as a pattern interrupt. For 12 minutes, you've been glued to lights, beats, and symbols during the performance. Suddenly, your brain's default mode network, your introspective hub, kicks in. Turn his TV off. Turn your TV off. Turn the TV off. It's like Kendrick handed your mind a mirror, your introspective hub, to pause, to think, to reflect. Studies show that these jarring breaks boost memory consolidation in the hippocampus. Translation, you'll never forget that moment. Part 8, why this works. So, why did this halftime show hit so hard? Because Kendrick wasn't just rapping, he was conducting a neural symphony. He tugged at your amygdala with tension, spiked your dopamine with surprise, engaged your prefrontal cortex with symbolism, and let your mirror neurons dance along with the crowd. Kendrick built a performance that hijacked the same brain systems that we use for learning, survival, and joy. It wasn't just music. It was neuroscience in motion. So the next time someone tells you hip hop is just noise or entertainment, you can reply, oh, no, actually it's a neural workout. Kendrick Lamar turned the Super Bowl halftime show into a psychology experiment, and we all signed up. So, what moment rewired your brain the most? Drop it in the comments, hit like if your dopamine spiked, and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of culture.